All right, come back now. Let's go into the first discussion. Staff of the University of Maiduguri abducted by Boko Haram have spent more than 100 days in captivity.
And they were attacked at Magumeri, Borno State, while returning from an oil exploration trip to the Lake Chad Basin, while 5 of their colleagues were killed. Now, when will they regain their freedom? That's a question on the lips of so many. Security expert Seyi Adetayo joins us via Skype to discuss this. Good morning and thanks for joining us. If we can establish whether Seyi Adetayo can hear us, it looks like we have an audio issue there. Good morning once again, Seyi Adetayo.
I can hear you.
All
I
right.
can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic, fantastic.
I can hear you.
Okay, now it's been how many days? Over almost 6 months since these people were abducted, and since July specifically. And they've been asking. There was a video that was out not too long ago, and some of the abductees, actually pleaded with government to do something to intervene so that they can be freed. And you wonder what options really lay out there for government to follow.
Well, unfortunately, we're in a dire strait right now. And it's just, let me say, predictions of security experts are just coming to pass. I remember telling us that this is something that is not going to go away. And I remember telling us that as much as we try to decapitate the Boko Haram insurgents, that they will still continue to be attacking. However, they will intensify more on their asymmetric warfare. Kidnapping is going to be a major direction for them, which is what we're saying. I think it's just a replay of the Jonathan era, when the Chibok girls were kidnapped and the success they were able to make out of it. And the same success is what they are trying to achieve again. From what I have, those people are not actually discussing or talking to government really about those people. They are trying to keep it close as possible to their chest. And same thing happened with the Chibok girls. Remember, it took us several years before we could establish contact for negotiation for the girls. And the same thing is what we are trying to play here, to raise as much political dust over this that will actually make the government to be so much desperate to do anything to bring these lecturers back, and that is going to be of much value to them. And they will use that opportunity to make as much money and then negotiate for the release of their commanders that are currently in government coffers, or let me say tensions as it is right now.
Okay.
We'll remember that with the Chibok girls, which was released, with those that they were released in batches, cost government a lot because so much political intrigue actually played out with that, and that's exactly what they are trying to do right now. They've done it before. They were successful with it.
All right, let me come in here, Seyi. Okay. Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State just a few weeks ago assured Nigerians that the abductees would be released very soon, that in fact discussions were ongoing with the Boko Haram sect. No, but how reassuring is this? And then coming from what you just said, that it's just a strategy to hold government to ransom and get whatever they want from the government.
Government, we always want to give hope, and that is what government is all about. Reassuring the people and give them hope. It's a political statement. It's not a security, a part of the intelligence community that are actually working on this. But the truth is that these people are not actually negotiating as it is right now. And one thing is that we just have to put ourselves in their position. Somebody like me, if I'm handling such, I will make sure that I keep those people for a long time, to make sure that I raise their value so high, or I get more value from them than before actually agreeing to talk to you about it. Remember that these people, anyone that is attached to government, whether you are a government employee, be it security agent, or you are a government contractor or directly working for government, you are a high value target. The concentration now is not really more towards the civilian per se, because they've got a whole lot of them in their camp, and they cannot make much value from them compared to what they had with Chibok girls. So any government agent or personnel that they are able to lay their hands on right now, they are going to keep those people and make sure that they get as much value in return for their abduction.
Of course, and that's why the UNHCR has been telling the Nigerian army that there is a need to change strategy because, like you said, these people are going for people who would, at the end of the day, convert to funds and money for them to prosecute their terrorism activities. What exactly would you expect the Nigerian government to be doing, in spite of the fact that the command and control center was moved to Maiduguri when this administration came into being?
We say we need to understand one fact, and that's why I just decided this morning I'm going to lay everything here. You say, government, the military, they are working. But we need to be able to understand what kind of expectations that we can have in a situation like this. As much as government try to make us to, believe that everything is under check, but the truth is that no matter the level of effort they are going to put in place, you cannot have 100% situation back. Even if it's going to be 99%, that 1% is going to be a problem because anytime that 1% manifests, it's going to hit the headline. And when it hits the headline, it's going to create fear in the mind of the people. So right now, what they're doing, in reality, if you look at movement around that area, remember it's not just only the universities, staff that we're talking about here. Also, the female police officers that were kidnapped along the way. Yeah, they are also there. So we need to understand that it's more than an university lecturer. Now, those roads that we are made to believe that government is trying to get people back to that road, is still not as secure as we expect them to be. And the moment these people notice that there are a target of value currently on the road, especially not well or appropriately protected, they will strike and then they will go there. This is what happened with those female police officers. The convoy with the police never got the military involved. So they went on their own and these people ambushed them. If you look at the way they move in that area, let me just give an example. It's like when you have like a five team convoy with probably two civilian or vehicles. The military vehicles or the one will go like 5 kilometers to 10 kilometers.
Okay, we seem to be having
exactly,
issues
we're having issues with you.
There.
Yes, but let me ask you another question to see if it's better. Else we just move on. Of course, you talked about the Boko Haram sect becoming more emboldened, and that is why, despite the efforts of the Nigerian military saying that the sect has been routed out of the northeastern part of Nigeria, there are still cases of suicide bombing. So how easy is it going to be now for the military? Because, of course, the soldiers cannot be everywhere. And does it seem to you that there could be pockets of members of the sect that have infiltrated institutions in the country that feed them with information? The members somehow know where to be at the right time to kidnap people that you've tagged as high profile targets.
Well, these people are very intelligent people. They are soldiers, just like we have our own soldiers as well, albeit soldiers of fortune this time around. They run their own intelligence, the intelligence network, just the same way we run our own intelligence network. As much as we try to infiltrate them, they also try to infiltrate the government to see as much intelligence that they too can use to be able to project or propagate their campaign. Same thing is happening. So the issue about whether they've infiltrated, that one is not a news. That they try to do every day. Because when you are running or launching a campaign of this nature, you must also try as much as possible to reduce the capacity or to be able to understand what your enemy is doing. So infiltration, yes. How much are they, their level of infiltration are progressing or is progressing? That is another issue, which I know right now the effort of government has actually reduced their ability to be able to do this. But that notwithstanding, that does not say that they are still not making effort to reduce it. And there are those that have been there and they have been doing their work perfectly well that we are yet to discover that these people are moles in our midst. So those people are also there, and it's just a matter of time before they are, because we are not dealing with a different government or different country where you can say, oh, we can easily detect that this person is a Cameroonian. We are talking about some people or set of people who's different between us and them. It's just mere ideology. It's not just about what they believe in. So you see people that you work with, but you don't really understand which side the person belongs. So it's a lot difficult to know who in military, who in the police, who is in the civil service, who even among the press that is actually having a kind of alliance or allegiance to these people, especially what they believe in and what they intend to achieve.
Very, salient point there. And speaking of the police women said to be abducted some time back, the IG of police, Ibrahim Idris, actually came out to say there are no policemen or policewomen in Boko Haram captivity. Now, talking about the oil and gas exploration that's going on within that particular region, Kashim Shettima has come out to say, look, gas is a future when it comes to other sources of revenue for the country. And so gas exploration must continue in that region. Is it worth it when so many lives, we've been told that some 381 people have been killed since April and September of this year. Should this exploration continue in spite of the security challenges?
Well, any exploration activities in that place is blood money. We need to be sensible and put politics aside right now. If they get security professionals to advise, they will tell you it's a no-no. But a situation whereby political consideration goes beyond the risk outcome of a risk assessment, then we'll begin to see things like this. I don't think any security professional will actually advise that an exploration activity should continue in that particular environment at this particular point in time. But decisions is not in the hands of the security expert. Decision is in the hands of the politicians. And if that is what they feel, but at every point in time, you see, posterity will judge everybody for the decisions they take at every point in time. Yes, it might get a political, applause for say, oh, we've discovered. You'll discover at what cost? Is it at the right time when you are exploring? Is different from exploitation. I remember what happened in the southern Nigeria when a refinery was attacked. And in fact, I was in Washington when this whole
Shayi, are you there? Seems we're having issues with your connection. Talk to us if you can. Let me ask you another question, like with it. Maybe you'll come up. All right. So saying that the statement by the governor that it will still continue with the exploration in the northeastern part of Nigeria is blood money, then should the regional bloc, ECOWAS, and then African Union be, at this point, be bold enough to say that, okay, we have to move and recall what they did to Blood Diamond when people were forced to mine diamonds forcefully and many died. So is this the time for ECOWAS and then AU to come in and say that safety first, value lives of your people first?
We don't, at this level, I don't think that we require foreign intervention for us to do what's right. I'm not going to ask that ECOWAS should. I expect the current government to be able to say, no, I think this time around, let us put this thing to rest. Whatever is under the ground is there. It's not going to run away. And when we're talking about even the gas, we've gotten enough, even in the south, that we're even yet to develop enough, put enough process in place to be able to, push these things out and then make money out of it. The West African gas pipeline is also there that we're pushing. What is the capacity, build up that we have, for that? So we still have the Niger Delta issue that we're still looking for solutions to it. Right now, the Niger Delta Avengers have said that, okay, we're going back to our activities now. We need to find political solutions, not to be taking political decisions that will also be continue to be making people to die right now. That place now, the situation there is very difficult. Difficult for even people to even move. A lot better than the way it used to be, but it is still difficult. No, I mean, not to talk of I'm not asking people to start moving around for geodetic survey, for a kind of a geological survey and the rest to get to know which particular point, what is the size of, of what we have. This is not the right time.
All right. Do we still know, Sheyi Adetayo, let me come in here very quickly. The root cause of Boko Haram insurgency and terrorism activities and all of that seems to be evolving. Do we still have an idea, a good grasp of exactly what these people are after? You talked about ideological warfare and all of that earlier. Do we still know what they're about?
Even Boko Haram itself, they don't even know what they want, because they are confused. Even their followers are confused. But there is something that is actually motivating them, and that is money, fortune. They are soldiers of fortune. Yes, they try to indoctrinate them into their own ideology. But what actually projects those people to do what they do is because they are on drugs, and because they make a whole lot of money, or they believe that they will make money when they go out. Boko Haram also pays its own people, and whatever anybody picks up, wherever they go, belongs to them, including women. Belongs to them, except the one that Chicago decided to say, you know what, these ones are, are for political purpose, like the Chibok girls, and probably some other few important people that they've actually traded for money or for some level of concessions in the past. So they started on basis of ideology, but they are recruiting because and they're getting more people because they believe that they will make more fortune for themselves. So they are more right now like soldiers of fortune, and that's the reason why more and more poor. When I mean poor, the poorest of the poor are joining them in Sambisa every now and then. You need to go down to those areas and see the level of poverty around those regions. Enough to even some people cannot even afford all their life to raise money to buy just one cow. And just one operation, they can get enough money to buy 10 or 20 cows.
All right, Sheyi, we'll have to end the discussion there because of time. Thank you very much for your analysis at this time. Sheyi Adetayo, you're a security expert. You've been talking to us about the crisis, terrorism, and of course insurgency in the northeastern part of Nigeria. Stay with us on the show. Now we'll go on a short break, and when we return, it's the time to look at another issue. That is the figure that 27,000 Nigerian migrants died last year. Stay with us on the show.